Chapter 11. The New Oligarchs, AI and Corporate Power. They don't wear crowns, they don't sit on thrones, they don't pass laws or command armies. But they wield more power than kings, more influence than presidents, more control over the future than any government. They are the new oligarchs, the AI barons, the architects of the algorithmic age. And their names are whispered in awe, in fear, in reverence: Satya, Sundar, Sam, Mark, Jensen, Dario, Demis. This is not a conspiracy, it's a convergence of talent, of capital, of data, of compute, of timing. A handful of companies and the people who run them now control the most powerful technology in human history: artificial intelligence. Not just the tools, not just the applications, the foundations, the models, the infrastructure, the future. How did this happen? It started quietly, in labs, in garages, in academic papers. AI was a niche field, underfunded, overlooked. Then came deep learning, then came data, then came GPUs, then came results. Suddenly AI worked, really worked, and the world took notice. Tech giants moved fast. Google hired Jeffrey Hinton. Facebook hired Yann LeCun. Baidu hired Andrew Ng. Microsoft, Amazon, Apple all built AI divisions. They bought startups, poached researchers, funded conferences, open-sourced frameworks, TensorFlow, PyTorch, to dominate the ecosystem. They didn't just adopt AI, they absorbed it, institutionalized it, industrialized it. But the real shift came with large language models. GPT, LoMDA, PaLM, Llama, Claude, Gemini. These weren't just tools, they were platforms, foundations, operating systems for the next era of computing. And they required three things: talent, data, and compute. Lots of it. Talent, concentrated. The top AI researchers, maybe a few hundred globally, were snapped up by big tech. Salaries in the millions. Stock options worth tens of millions. Labs with unlimited budgets. Freedom to experiment. Why stay in academia when you could have a supercomputer and a team of engineers at your fingertips? Data owned. Google has every search, every YouTube view, every Gmail. Facebook has every like, every post, every photo. Amazon has every purchase, every review, every Alexa command. Apple has every iMessage, every FaceTime, every health kit reading. This isn't just data. It's the digital exhaust of human life, and it's the fuel AI runs on. Compute, controlled. Training GPT-4 cost an estimated $100 million. Required tens of thousands of specialized chips, mostly NVIDIA GPUs. Only a handful of companies can afford that. Only a handful have the infrastructure. Only a handful have the relationships with chip makers, cloud providers, energy grids. The result: a new axis of power, not nation-states, not ideologies, not religions, but corporations, and not all corporations, a tiny handful, the AI oligopoly. OpenAI, technically a cap-profit company, partnered with Microsoft. Google doubled down with DeepMind and Gemini. Meta released Llama, open source, but trained on its own data, on its own chips. Anthropic, founded by ex-OpenAI staff, backed by Amazon and Google. Elon Musk's play racing to catch up. NVIDIA, not an AI company, but the gatekeeper. Its chips are the oxygen everyone breathes. These are not competitors in the traditional sense. They are collaborators, adversaries, partners, rivals all at once. They share papers, hire each other's staff, sue each other, invest in each other. It's a dance, a game, a race not just for market share but for control of the future. And the stakes, existential. Who decides what AI can do? Who controls its ethics, its safety, its alignment, its access? Right now it's them, the oligarchs, behind closed doors, in boardrooms, in Slack channels, not elected, not accountable, not transparent. Microsoft integrates OpenAI into Bing, Office, Azure, giving it access to 1 billion users. Google embeds Gemini into Search, Gmail, Docs, shaping how the world finds information. Meta pushes AI into WhatsApp, Instagram, Quest, influencing how we communicate, consume, connect. Amazon weaves AI into Alexa, AWS, logistics, controlling how we shop, compute, move. They promise openness, safety, responsibility, but their actions tell a different story. OpenAI's board drama, firing Sam Altman, then rehiring him, revealed chaos behind the curtain. Google's firing of AI ethics researchers Timnit Gebru and Margaret Mitchell for challenging bias in large models exposed the tension between ethics and profit. Meta's release of Llama, touted as open, but restricted by licensing, trained on copyrighted material, optimized for its own ecosystem. This is not malice, it's structure. These are corporations. Their fiduciary duty is to shareholders, not to humanity, not to truth, not to safety. And AI at this scale is too powerful, too pervasive, too transformative to be governed by quarterly earnings. But who else is there? Governments are scrambling. The EU passes the AI Act. The US issues executive orders. China builds its own national champions, but regulation lags years behind reality. And enforcement? Fragile, global, non-existent. Academia is sidelined. No budget, no data, no compute. Brilliant minds publishing papers no one reads, while their students get hired by big tech the moment they graduate. Open source, a beacon, but under threat. Llama, Mistral, Bloom show the power of community, but they rely on corporate infrastructure, corporate data, corporate tolerance, and when the wind shifts, that tolerance can vanish. We are living through the greatest concentration of technological power in human history, not by design, not by conspiracy, but by momentum, by economics, by the brutal logic of scale. The new oligarchs don't want to rule the world, they just want to build the future. But in doing so, they are deciding what that future looks like, who it serves, who it excludes, who it empowers, who it controls. And the rest of us, we're along for the ride. Unless we wake up. Unless we demand accountability. Unless we build alternatives. Because power unchecked corrupts. Even when it's powered by AI. Even when it's wrapped in code. Even when it's smiling.